Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the adventures of Gary Wilson, who is now a Wisconsin Badger in Wisconsin after starting 0-2 with a loss to Marshall and some other team who I don't remember it was. We are back. We are now 6-2, ranked 17 in the country, and we play Northwestern this week. Gary's got a little bit of an upgrade. Gary, we're up to an 89 overall. And of course, our goal is going to be to get that as high as possible because 1 week from today, by the time you're watching this video, it will be less than a week from today. 1 week from today, which is Thursday, July 31st, Madden 26 comes out. And we will be continuing Gary's career in Madden 26. It was not a feature last year. It is a feature this year where you can carry over your road to glory. So there we go. Let's get into it. Did that just say that Gary was up to 374 pounds? That's not right. Gary, you know what? We're going to say that despite moving back to Wisconsin, Gary went on a diet. When he went to Culver's, instead of getting a triple butter burger, he only got a single butter burger with bacon, of course. So we're going to say Gary's back down to the lowest weight he's been in a long time. We'll go 322 pounds. There we go. So Gary's lost some weight. Not enough to not be a complete wrecking ball. Just enough to, when he goes to Heart Attack Grill in Las Vegas, he barely eats for free. All right. Anyway, let's get into the game. Gary's breaking a run. Here he goes. His third touchdown of the game. Absolutely dominating. 204 yards. His third touchdown of the game, and we're not even at the half. 27-0 Wisconsin. Once again, Gary breaking a long run. Nobody could touch him. We've got some great defenders up front, allowing us to get all kinds of holes. 333 yards, 4 touchdowns on the day. Let's see where he ends up. Well, coaches decided that up as much as we were, there was no reason for Gary to be out there. No reason to risk him getting injured. 45-0 win over Northwestern. Gary with a monster day should get him back in the Heisman conversation. 4 touchdowns, 333 yards, only 15 rushing attempts. So almost every play we had was a large rush. So I haven't really been showing the deals that we've been making. However, this one's interesting because it's a 5-week contract. It's 2 energy up front, but it's 3 skill points and a 10% reduction on wear and tear. And lately, my wear and tear has been getting so bad that I've been forced to invest a lot of energy into it anyway. So for 5 weeks, the 10% reduction and the 3 skill points, we're going to go ahead and take the deal. I have been trying to get my brand exposure up. What does she want? Oh, fine. We'll study a lot. We had a really bad midterm, a bunch of D's and F's. So my goal of being able to take senior year off academically was not going to work. We did get the um, National Offensive Player of the Week, which I think should be worth something other than just, whatever. We only have 1 point to spend this week on our agenda. I think we can't even study with it because it takes 2 to study. We can't put it in leadership. The only thing we could put it in is influencer. So that's what we'll do, which does, for some reason, affect our health a little bit. Or no, I think it lowers leadership, which also doesn't make sense. Let's just take a quick look at the Heisman watch, see if we're back on the list yet. We are. We're up to number 3, which is good because at one point we were down, we were number 1, and then we were off the list. Nice to see Ohio State not ranked. All right. What was our next game? Washington. They are 3-6, so this should be an easy game. We only went up 1 spot in the rankings. So let's see. Let's go to college football playoff bracket. We would be projected to be in the first round against Notre Dame. So that's something to keep in mind as long as we don't lose the rest of the season, which we are going to have our conference championship game potentially. Um, but as long as we don't lose the rest of the season, we will at least be in the mix to be in the playoffs. All right, so let's get into this game. First play of the game from our own end zone. This is going to be a 100-yard or very close to 100-yard, 94-yard run by Gary Wilson for the touchdown. Is Gary dancing or is the game breaking? It could be both. Who knows? It was Gary dancing. So they pulled Gary from the game once again just after halftime because, well, 5 touchdowns, 300 something yards in the first half. He just absolutely destroying his competition. There you go, 307 yards, 5 touchdowns. And that was on 19 plays. Let's say that again, 19 plays. So let's keep going and see how the season. You know, Gary works hard and plays hard and, eats a lot. But one of our tight end, Darian, has told us that he's going to have some people over the house tonight. Should be pretty laid back. Feel free to come by. Gary's going to DM every girl in his contacts. It may not be a lot. The girl at the Culver's drive-thru. Oh, I thought we were inviting him to the party. No. Okay. Wow. 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 You DM all the girls on your contact list, but get left undelivered. What? That doesn't make sense. You fall asleep watching Trayvon Austin highlights. Wow. 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 Possibly the greatest game in Gary Wilson's career, actually, without a doubt. 411 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an absolutely butt whooping of Indiana. We'll see what this does for his Heisman odds. He was second. If anyone noticed, Gary's looking a little bit short. For some reason, when I changed his weight, it changed his height. Somehow he's down to 5'6". So obviously I'm going to get that fixed. There we go. Single game record broken for Wisconsin for rushing yards in a game. I wanted to see if we broke the touchdown record. Yep, that must be what this is. Single game touchdown record for Wisconsin broken. Any other records broken? Big Ten single game rushing yards. Did we break this? Nope. Okay, I thought maybe we broke the Big Ten record. Let's go ahead and get Gary back to the height that he's supposed to be, which is 6'3". And you know what? He's been eating his vegetables. Gary is now 6'4". And when I say eating his vegetables, what I mean is the delicious lettuce and tomato on a Culver's bacon butter burger bacon deluxe. There we go. Those words roll off the tongue. Let's check. We'll check the Heisman race. Yeah, Gary's still number 2. Okay, it hasn't updated because we haven't switched weeks yet. So now when we advance the week, Gary should definitely be either still number 2 or up to number 1. Major project due. We need the grades. We're struggling, but the problem is we're all so injured right now, or on the cusp of being injured. Of course, we got the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. We're also going to get National Player of the Week. That was pretty obvious. What else? Fan favorite activated because our grades are up. All right, so we play Minnesota the next game. We're up to number 8 in the country. Let's check where Gary is on the Heisman race. Up to number 1, Gary Wilson, favorite to win. What happened here? Oh, they lost. Okay, 3 passing touchdowns, but they lost. They were number 25. They lost to Florida, who was unranked. No other changes. All right, so now let's check where we're projected to be in the bracket. Oh, okay. So, Florida State lost. We're now projected to be against Tulane. Tulane's still undefeated. Trying to see if there's any other big changes I've noticed. No, Florida State lost. That's obviously a big one because they were number 1 and now they're number 4, which means we could potentially surpass them. Let's take a look at the awards. Gary Wilson, favorite for the Maxwell. Gary Wilson, favorite for the Walter Camp. He's got to be favored for the running back ones as well. Yeah, Gary Wilson, favorite. Our goal is to win as much as we can with Gary. So let's take a quick look at the agenda for the week because, like I said, we've already used 3 on academics, but we need to heal up big time. I feel like that's probably good enough. I don't feel like our influencer status is going up at all. So let's just we can't throw another one in health. The only thing we could throw it into is influencer. Let's go to upgrade real quick. See, that's 15. That's 7. Break tackle's already up. Let's get his carrying ability up. That puts us at a 90 overall. And we're able to upgrade it a few times. So 91 overall now. We're not worried about catching. It's that carrying ability. We'll continue to work on quickness once we have enough points. By the end of his senior year, we should have that pretty much maxed out. All right, next up, Minnesota. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show the replay on this one because I don't know if it's going to show it, but holy broken tackles. It's not going to show all the broken tackles, but I think I broke 6 tackles. There we go. There's one. That was the last one. But touchdown, Gary freaking Wilson. So this was not the game that Gary Wilson's used to having. Wisconsin with the easy victory, but Gary was pulled going into the 4th quarter. So he did not have the stats that he's been having. Could hurt him in the Heisman race, but the final regular season game, Wisconsin takes down Minnesota, takes the big axe thingy, and should easily secure a spot in the conference championship game. And as long as we win that, on to the national playoffs. And there we go. Next week, USC, number 13 in the country. That's who our opponent will be in the Big Ten championship game. We'll see how it goes because Gary right now needs a week off. He is beat up. Let's look at the weekly agenda. You can see our health is in danger. We're also in danger of failing our exam, which wouldn't be good. So, given that we have the bye week, exams in 1 week, let's just get it up to scraping by, and then we'll start working on his health. Health isn't all the way back up, but it's up. Now, big thing to take a look at. Gary Wilson, number 1 for the Heisman. That's going to be huge because going into the conference championship game, we need every bit of help that we can get. We are up to number 6 in the country. All right, so I thought I was recording. I wasn't. But we beat USC in the conference championship game. Gary had a decent game, not great. We had our bye week. We're up to number 3 in the country. So it's college football playoff time. There's the Walter Camp Award for Gary. And the Maxwell. And there's the Heisman. Gary Wilson is your 2028 Heisman Trophy winner. Gary racking up the hardware. Is he going to be first team All-American again? I wonder. For the 2nd year in a row, first team All-American. All right, so our health should be okay because last bye week I pumped a lot into it. Let's get our leadership up a little bit. I don't know why it's so low. I mean, we just pumped every point we had into it, and it's still basically as low as it can be. Probably should have done some XP or something, but oh, that's right. So we'd have a bye week this week because we would have a bye in the college football playoffs. And we're going to be playing number 11, Florida International. That makes me want to go and look at the bracket and see who they beat. All right, so a couple upsets in the first round. Ole Miss beat Texas Tech by the score of 19-0. End of the road for Bill Parcells against Texas in a close one. TCU loses to Florida International. Miami beats Texas Tech. So, where does that leave us? Ole Miss will play Clemson. Texas will play Florida State. We'll play Florida International. And Notre Dame and Miami will play. Let's go ahead. We're just going to simulate our practice. I don't know why it always jumps back to that when you do that, but whatever. All right. We got 6 points to spend. Let's throw some into XP. We'll make sure our health is all the way up so that we're healthy for the bowl games. I'm going to go ahead and complete this year in this video. So whether we win or we lose against Florida International remains to be seen. But if as long as we're continuing on in the playoffs, it will be in this video. I probably won't show the full games because that would make the video way too long, but we'll see what happens. Legitimately, I have no idea how Florida International made it this far. They are a 66 overall. We're an 81. So, of course, it means we're going to lose. So, absolute domination, 56-28. I'm surprised we gave up 28 points, but it's just because our defense didn't have much of a chance to rest because our offense was so effective. But we win the Rose Bowl. Now we have to see who we end up playing in the next round. Big game for Gary Wilson. Again, broken tackles galore. I really feel like the trait that gives you, if you're running at full speed, you break more tackles. It's really overpowered. But who cares? I'm not here to break down how the game plays. I'm here to get Gary into the NFL. 5 touchdowns, 428 yards. And our next bowl game in the playoffs and the semifinals will be against Miami. Hey, look, we already took out one Florida team. Why not another one? Quick look at the playoff bracket. Ole Miss with the upset over Clemson by 2 points. Florida State with a 3-point victory over Texas. We absolutely demolished Florida International. And Miami with a win over Notre Dame with the upset. So now we play Miami, and if we win and Florida State wins, then we will potentially play our 3rd straight team from Florida in the national championship game. And of course, the game is in Florida. So essentially a home game if Florida State wins against Ole Miss. Eventually, I'll learn how to control the buttons on my keyboard. That's what the word I was looking for. We beat Miami. So now we should be playing Florida State in the national championship game. Ole Miss, that's not what I was expecting. But Wisconsin, Ole Miss, national championship game coming up. So we squeaked by against Miami in overtime. Ole Miss absolutely dismantled Florida State. Can't really get more evenly matched up than this. We're an 82 overall with an 84 offense, an 81 defense. They're an 82 overall with an 81 offense and an 84 defense. And here we go, the national championship game. I will be showing the full game on this one. No pauses, no breaks, just the full game. Ole Miss, a team that we almost went to. We almost became a running rebel. But instead, we went to our home state of Wisconsin and became a Badger. So from starting 0-2 in this season including a loss to Marshall, which I will not ever not mention, to the national championship game in Tampa, Florida, Raymond James Stadium. Here we go. Big old Gary Wilson running out on the field, doing what he does best, pretty much almost bowling over his teammate. There it is. What we're playing for, the national title. And we're starting the game down 7-0 because our defense couldn't stop them. Let's see if we can return the favor. They did take 3 minutes off the clock. So I've improved Gary's vision. So, go, Gary, go. There we go. Breaking tackles, breaking hearts, flying through the air. Gary Wilson with the huge 75-yard rush potentially ties this game up. Now, like I was saying, touchdown. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Someone other than Gary Wilson with the score. Gary's supposed to be back here blocking, I think. Yeah. – 14-7 lead. So anyway, Gary can now see who's blocked and who's not blocked. Flag on the play. We're going to decline that penalty, right? Yeah. I actually don't watch college football, so I don't know. I should have paid closer attention to see if we would have still got the huge gain and then the extra yards, or if it's just a standard, 5-yard penalty or whatever it is. So watch as we take off. You could see the guys with the red over their head. It means that they're uncovered. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. But because I got his vision up, we are a 92 overall now, by the way. The question on a lot of people's minds is, if Gary were to win this national championship, Gary showing he could do it all by receiving the ball. Only thing he hasn't done in this game is throw the ball. But if I were to win the national championship, what does Gary do? Does he feel fulfilled and go back to a smaller college where he's literally big man on campus? Or I think I was supposed to be blocking there. It's 3rd and goal. Or does he stay at Wisconsin and try to repeat? It's 3rd and goal, and we are pretty deep. But Gary's able to get it up close. 4th and goal. What do we do? Coach has to decide. And they took the points, which is probably a good thing because Ole Miss came right down the field and scored on us again. 1 minute to go till halftime. Go, Gary. Go, Gary. Go, Gary. Go. One thing that I'll change in the settings, or I'll look at least to see if it's a setting, I don't know why there's no runoff between plays. Like, okay, so 44 seconds when our play stopped, and we're gonna snap it at 40 seconds, right? Where's the runoff? Or do I just know nothing about college football and how the clock works? All right, Gary, time for a big play. 3-point lead is not good enough. Hey, finally they're stopping Gary. We'll see how long that lasts. First down. Gary says, take your first down and shove it. Touchdown, Gary Wilson. Up to a 10-point lead, down to a 3-point lead. Why is Gary not in the game? Why is the game tied? We had a 10-point lead. What the hell happened? I don't know why I decided to go that direction, but I did. It's fourth quarter. We just have to get it down in field goal range. Gary says, I'll take your field goal range and I'll show you a touchdown. How about that? Culver's has reached out to Gary and told him that if they win the national championship, he will have free Butterburgers for life. And he says, I'll take that deal. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Touchdown, Gary Wilson. And of course, Ole Miss comes down and scores, and we're going to overtime. Overtime in the national championship game. 3rd and 6. Huge play here. And he gets stopped, which means they're going to have to settle for the field goal, which means if Ole Miss has taken the lead, we have to score a touchdown here. Incomplete. Gary couldn't get over in time. He got it that time, but it's 3rd and 2. He breaks the tackle. One of the Ole Miss players is injured. First and goal. Everything comes down to this. The entire season comes down to these next couple plays, and Gary stopped. Gets harder to run the ball when you're down close to the end zone like this. But all it takes is one missed tackle. Touchdown, Gary Wilson. Wisconsin has tied the game. Oh, that's right. We have to go for 2. How do we audible? No problem for Gary Wilson. He'll take the 2-point conversion. Now, can we stop him? Can we stop Ole Miss? We're supposed to be the ones with the better offense. They're supposed to be the ones with the better defense. Wait, what the hell? We lost. How did we lose? Well, we didn't get a chance to answer, in my opinion, but whatever. It must have been simulated. They didn't use Gary. That was their mistake. Ole Miss, congratulations to the Rebels. They are the national champions. Gary and Wisconsin fall just a couple of yards short. Wow, here's a deal right here. 16-week contract, 3 energy up front, but we get 10 skill points and plus 3 speed permanently. Sign that deal. So, a couple more upgrades to Gary, and we now have his elusiveness up to 99. Remember with the NIL deal, we did pick up a permanent plus 3 speed, so his speed's up to a 94. We also added some points into, what did I just add it to? Route running. There we go. We'll add a couple more. So now route running is up to a 77. But then the last thing we did was we upgraded battering ram to platinum. So it increases the wear and tear damage to defenders when being tackled. And that's maxed out. So thank you all for joining me. Disappointed we didn't win the national championship, but Gary's back for his senior season. He decided not to go to the NFL early. So we will see you in the next video for his senior season. Thank you all for joining me. We will see you then.